Welcome to this video lecture on the subject optical and microwave engineering. Now we are going to discuss about the topic hybrid Ts. So what are hybrid Ts? This is the combination of T junctions, E plane and H plane T. So it forms a 4-port device, so 4-port network. So here in which the signal incident on one port divides between the two output ports and the remaining port is isolated. We can use the 3 ports, the remaining is isolated port. So here the combination of E plane T and H plane T, we can see in this diagram, both E plane and H plane T are combined. So there are 4 ports where port 1 and 2 are collinear arms and port 3 is the H arm and port 4 is the E arm. So we can apply all the properties of E arm and H arm in this. So the rectangular slots are cut both along the width and breadth of the long waveguide and the side arms are attached. So the wave transfer is similar to that E plane and H plane Ts. So here are the characteristics of magic T. If the two in-phase waves of equal magnitude are given to ports 1 and 2. So what happens at H plane T? So where the output at H arm is additive, E arm is difference. So the same properties applies here. So two in-phase waves are equal magnitude are given. So the output at port 4 is subtractive because port 4 is the E arm. So the equal signal is given. So when it is subtracted, equal values are subtracted. 5 minus 5 it is 0. So at port 4 we get 0 and the total output will appear additively at port 3 because H arm is the sum arm. So 5 plus 5 equal to 10. So it is the sum arm. So port 4 is called as the difference arm. Port 3 is called as the sum arm. So the same E plane and H plane properties are applied to this. And another important property is the wave incident at port 4 divides equally between 1 and 2 but no coupling to port 3. So port 4 and 3 are there is no coupling. So wave incident at port 3 divides equally between 1 and 2 in phase, no coupling to port 4. So similar to that remaining ports, port 1 and port 2 are there is no coupling. So we can apply all these properties. So for an ideal lossless magic T matched at ports 3 and 4, so we are applying the 0 property. So the diagonal elements of port 3 and port 4, S33 and S44 are 0. So since it has a 4 ports, so we are applying a 4 cross 4 matrix from S11 to S44. And applying the symmetric property, we get the transpose elements are equal. And the other properties of H plane T junction, S23 equal to S13. For E plane, S24 equal to minus S14. Because port 3 is H arm, port 4 is the E arm. Here the negative sign is applied to port 4. So after applying all these properties, we get the S matrix. And finally, we are applying the unity property for the magic T S matrix. So we are solving the unity property for row wise for each row and column and we get the S matrix values. So for S13 we get 1 by root 2 and S14 we get 1 by root 2. So after substituting these values, S11 and S12 becomes 0. So this is the very important answer. And after applying this value, S22 also becomes 0. Now look into the S matrix of the magic T where we have matched terminated at port 3 and 4 but the final answer has all the diagonal elements are 0. So that is why it is this T junction hybrid T is known as the magic T where we get all the diagonal elements are 0. So what are the applications of magic T? So here the two junctions are perfectly matched and the other two ports are also perfectly matched to the junction. So from the final answer we are getting this important property of magic T. So the junction where all the four poles are perfectly matched, it is called as the magic T junction. So it is applied to measurement of impedance. It can be used as a duplexer, and it is a mixer, and can be used as an isolator. And because there is an one port is an isolated port, so it can be used as an isolator. So here the explanation for a duplexer circuit. So the duplexer is a circuit which works as the transmitter and receiver using a single antenna for both the purposes. So consider Magic T, it has four ports. So port 1 and 2 are used as a receiver and transmitter. They are isolated. So the signals will not interfere between transmitter and receiver. An antenna is connected to E-arm port. Matched load is connected to H-arm, so which provides no reflections. So now there exists a transmission or reception without any problem. The signal either goes from E-arm to antenna or from antenna to E-arm. So this acts as the duplexer circuit. And we can have a small assessment. Why hybrid junction is called as the magic T? Because the junction where all the four ports are perfectly matched is called as the magic T junction. And second question, a magic T is to be used as a continuous wave duplexer. So port 1, port 2, port 3 and port 4 respectively connected to. So the answer is continuous wave transmitter, receiver, antenna and matched load. Thank you for listening this lecture.